Big news come out for the heavyweight division in boxing. Anthony Joshua is back on the 25th of July in Riyadh season in obviously Saudi Arabia against who? This is his comeback fight after the comeback fight. I thought the Jake Paul fight was obviously his comeback fight. Obviously, I guess he wants to actually go in there with a proper boxer. Well, I wouldn't say proper boxer. Jake, as much as he gets stick, I think he is a proper boxer. But someone in the right division, someone on a higher skill of a Jake Paul. Christian Prenga? Is that how you say it? Christian Prenga? Listen, I don't know what's gone on here. Obviously, we've just seen Tyson Fury come back after, 16 months or something out the ring. His comeback fight against Aslam Makhmudov. Now, listen, we all knew Tyson was going to win that. We knew Makhmudov was not on a level of a Tyson. And we all knew Tyson was going to win, clearly. But at least his comeback fight was against someone who's in the top 15 in majority of the rankings, who's got a notable name behind him. Makhmudov has got a big name, especially with the UK people now, in the fact of, obviously, he main evented against Dave Allen. I was there. Obviously, Makhmudov's been on the Riyadh cards against, He went against Ajit Kabiel. He's also been in other fights, big Carlos Takam. Makhmudov has been in big fights and he's been on big cards. He's been on the Riyadh season cards. But this Christian Prenga, I don't even know where they found him. I don't know why he's getting the opportunity to fight an Anthony Joshua. Listen, fair play to him. He's got the opportunity. But for AJ to be coming back against someone on this level, okay, yes, this Christian Prenga is 20 wins, 1 loss with 20 knockouts. Okay, he's clearly a big hitter. With all of your wins are coming by knockout. He's got a 100% knockout ratio. But just for Anthony Joshua, there were so many other guys you could have fought who are in the top 15 who are not, obviously, you would be able to beat them, but they're going to be a good test. They're going to be someone tough. Like, there's obviously Zhilei Zhang. Like, Anthony Joshua should. There's obviously a knockout threat, but I think there's a knockout threat with any heavyweight, this guy has got 20 KOs and 20 wins, so there's the knockout threat with this guy. Zhang has a knockout threat. F.A. Ajangba has a knockout threat. Martin Bakole. There are guys in the heavyweight division who are not on that top tier. Even a Dillian White rematch would go down well. White's not at the level he used to be. Joe Joyce is another one. David Adelaide. There's multiple guys in high rankings who you could have fought, and you've just picked someone. Listen, this Prenga might even be in a ranking. I'm not too sure, but I've never heard of him. I've never seen of him. The heavyweight division in boxing is the one I'm most knowledged on, and contenders and whatnot and people. And I just feel like, I see people on social media going, it's a comeback fight. Okay, but if you compare it to Fury's comeback fight, at least Fury fought, someone with name value, someone who is on a higher level, who has beat good people, who has also been on the big stages, who's coming off a good win and, all that business. While this Christian Prenga just, who is he? Who is he? He's, in the politest way, he's a nobody in the fact of name value. Okay, he's probably somewhat of a decent fighter. I watched one clip. AJ's going to wipe the floor with him. I think AJ can get him out of there. There's obviously a knockout threat with this guy. He's clearly 20-1 for a reason, but I looked at his resume and there's no names at all I even recognise on there. All just journeymen with losses, more losses than wins on the record. Listen, AJ's going to wipe the floor with him. AJ's back, and there was obviously big news that the fight is done. It is signed and everything of the AJ and Fury later this year, in the, I think, November, December time. I think we'll be getting this fight at the end of the year, that big fight. But listen, that's a separate video on itself. But when you look at AJ, obviously AJ's been a former unified champ twice, 29 wins, 4 losses, 26 by KO. His big wins, Vladimir Klitschko is probably the biggest, Dillian White in his prime, Joe Parker, Andy Ruiz, Povetkin. I mean, the list goes on and on. There's more names I could have put on there, but I just thought, who's his most notable? I mean, Ngannou, AJ's lost to what? Usyk twice, Daniel Dubois and Ruiz. Undisputed champion twice. Well, 3 times technically in Usyk, who's one of the greatest boxers to ever do it. Daniel Dubois is on the higher level, like in the top 5 in most divisions. Daniel's going to be one of the future guys to be taken over, the Usyks, the Furies, the AJs, and all that. Ruiz is also good. He's massively underrated, and that. But listen, I don't understand this fight. Let me know what you guys think in the comments about this fight. Do you think AJ's maybe took a bit of an easier route for the comeback? Obviously, we get the tragedy, what happened earlier this year, or it was late last year, obviously in Nigeria with the car crash, and he lost his 2 friends. So maybe he's wanted a bit of an easier fight. It is his first fight back since that, and all that business. But listen, when you're that big of a name and you've got that famous publicity and everything like that, like everyone's going to watch this fight regardless because of Anthony Joshua. I don't feel like you should be fighting tomato cans in the politest way. Makhmudov weren't a tomato can. Makhmudov obviously has got good wins. I've already said blah blah blah. But this guy is who is he? We don't know. We've never heard of him. I think everyone's obviously now he's going to get a platform. Fair play to him in Christian Prenga. Or Prenga, I don't know how to pronounce the second name. But there's so many other guys you could have fought who would have been a good, notable name to fight. I mean, I think the Joe Joyce one would have been great right there. That would have been an entertaining fight, AJ and Joyce. And Efrain Jamba, yes, Jagba's got a name, it would be boring. Zhang would be an interesting one. Listen, there were so many better fights they could have made, and ones what are obviously winning for AJ. I think that's why they've given AJ such a randomer in the fact of, okay, the fight's a done deal now with Fury and AJ. Apparently, when I believe it is when there's a poster out and all that. We've got a date set in stone. But apparently it's done, apparently. So I think obviously they don't want to ruin the fight for the end of this year. So that's why they've given AJ this guy. But listen, guys, let me know what you guys think on this. Are you excited to see AJ back? I'm excited to see AJ back. Obviously, we want the big fight with Fury at the end of the year or even earliest next year. I feel like he's going to demolish this guy, but let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Let me know if you guys think this is stupid, if he should have just jumped straight in with Fury. Yeah, let me know what you guys think. But like, comment, subscribe. We're nearly at 100 subs, so it'd be much appreciated. And yeah.